You've heard of the Tour de France, right? It's arguably the toughest endurance event in sports. But did you know that for nearly a century, no British cyclist had ever won it? In fact, the British cycling team was so mediocre that one top bike manufacturer refused to sell bikes to them, fearing it would hurt sales if people associated their brand with such underperformers. Sound familiar? I bet you've had those moments in your business where success feels miles away, where competitors seem to be leaving you in the dust. But here's where this story takes an incredible turn. Around 2003, British Cycling hired a new performance director named Dave Brailsford, who introduced a revolutionary concept: the aggregation of marginal gains. His philosophy was simple but profound: improve everything by just 1%. Instead of looking for the one magic breakthrough, Brailsford and his team obsessively focused on dozens of tiny details. They tested different types of massage gels to see which one led to the fastest muscle recovery. They hired a surgeon to teach riders proper hand-washing techniques to prevent colds. They tested various mattresses and pillows to find the optimal sleep setup for each rider. They even painted the inside of the team truck white to spot dust particles that might interfere with delicate bike mechanics. None of these changes individually seemed significant. Many industry experts dismiss this approach, believing that only major innovations or exceptional talent could win the Tour de France. But Brailsford had conviction. He predicted they would win the Tour de France within 5 years using this philosophy of 1% improvements. Here's what happened. They won it in just 3 years. Bradley Wiggins became the first British cyclist to win the Tour de France in 2012. The next year, his teammate Chris Froome won it, then again in 2015, 2016, and 2017. Between 2007 and 2017, British cyclists dominated the sport, winning 178 world championships and 66 Olympic-Paralympic gold medals. Small actions compound over time. If you improve just 1% each day for a year, you'll end up 37 times better by year's end. These tiny improvements are barely noticeable day to day, but massive over time. Systems create freedom. Hustle creates burnout. This is what separates the business owners who stay stuck from those who scale to 7 figures and beyond. It's not about working harder. It's about building better systems, starting with the system that runs your life, your habits. The important fact to understand here is that business will only grow to the extent that you grow. When most business owners set goals, they focus entirely on outcomes. They think, I want to make $20,000 a month. I want to hire 3 employees. I want to open a second location. But here's what the top 1% of entrepreneurs understand. Success isn't just about what you want to achieve. It's about who you need to become to achieve it. Think about it this way. If I handed you $1 million business today, but you still had the same habits, mindset, and identity you have right now, how long would that business stay successful? Probably not very long. Why? Because success isn't something you get. It's someone you become. As James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, puts it, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become, and your identity, who you believe you are, drives your habits. According to research published in the Harvard Business Review, the top-performing entrepreneurs across all industries share one common trait. They've mastered the art of daily self-improvement. They don't leave their growth to chance. They build it into their daily routine. Let me share how Oprah Winfrey used this exact principle to transform herself from a struggling talk show host to a global media icon. Early in her career, Oprah made a conscious decision to identify as someone who serves first, rather than someone who chases ratings. This identity shift led her to create a completely different type of show, focusing on enriching viewers' lives rather than exploiting guests for viewership. This identity-first approach changed everything about how she operated her business. Her daily habits naturally aligned with her new identity, and the results followed. Imagine behavior change like an onion with 3 layers. The first one is the outer layer, which is the outcomes or results. These are the visible achievements you're pursuing. For example, $20K per month, a team of 5 employees, a second location, 1,000 customers, etc. It's what everyone sees and typically what we focus on in goal setting. The second is the middle layer, the process. This is your system of habits, routines, and procedures that generate those results. Your morning planning ritual, your sales process, your content calendar, your customer follow-up system. These are the actions that, when repeated consistently, lead to outcomes. The third layer is the core layer, the identity. This is the foundation of it all, your self-concept and beliefs about who you are as a business owner. Beliefs and concepts you have of yourself, like I am disciplined, I am innovative, I am customer obsessed, I am a leader. This core identity shapes which habits you'll stick with and which you'll abandon. Most business owners start from the outside and work their way in. They focus on changing their results without changing their identity. But lasting transformation works in the opposite direction. The direction of sustainable change is always from the inside out, not the outside in. James Clear suggests 4 laws that make any habit stick in your business. The first habit is make it obvious or habit stacking. The first step is awareness. Most of our habits run on autopilot. We don't even realize we're checking emails first thing in the morning or letting clients interrupt our deep work. One of the most powerful techniques we've learned from James Clear is habit stacking. This is when you take a habit you already do and stack your new habit on top of it. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, which is the current habit, I will review my top 3 priorities for the day, the new habit. The second is make it attractive. Your brain operates on a reward system. If something feels rewarding, you'll want to do it again. Warren Buffett, one of the world's most successful investors, uses this principle by setting up his environment to make investing attractive. Buffett deliberately lives in Omaha, Nebraska, away from Wall Street's frantic energy, creating a space where calm, rational decision-making is attractive rather than reactive trading. A powerful technique done by him is called temptation bundling. This is when you pair something you need to do with something you want to do. The third habit is make it easy. Human nature follows the path of least resistance. The easier a habit is, the more likely you'll stick with it. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, he famously reduced the company's products from dozens to just 4. Why? It's because he understood that making things easier leads to better execution. Here's the 2-minute rule. When starting a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. For example, review monthly profit and loss statement becomes open the P&L document and look at the bottom line, or create content strategy becomes write down 3 content ideas, or maybe improve customer experience becomes call 1 customer and ask how they're doing. The fourth habit is make it satisfying. If a habit feels immediately rewarding, you'll repeat it. This is challenging for business habits because most business results take time. It is important to do habit tracking. Create a visual representation of your progress to provide immediate satisfaction. Sarah Blakely of Spanx uses a simple but powerful tracking method. She sets a daily intention each morning, and at day's end, she reflects on whether she honored that intention. This immediate feedback loop gives her satisfaction even before seeing business results. One way you can do this is use a simple wall calendar and mark an X on days you complete your habit. Here's where most entrepreneurs go wrong. They try to bridge too large a gap between their current identity and their desired outcomes. Imagine you currently identify as an overworked business owner who handles everything personally. And your desired outcome is a 7-figure business with a team of 15 people. That gap is too wide to cross in one leap. You need identity stepping stones. For example, 1. I am a business owner who can delegate small tasks. 2. I am a business owner who hires specialists for areas outside my expertise. 3. I am a business owner who builds systems for others to follow. 4. I am a business owner who leads a high-performing team. With each identity shift, your habits naturally evolve and your outcomes follow. This is exactly how Russell Brunson built ClickFunnels. He didn't go from solo entrepreneur to 100 ME+ business overnight. He progressively shifted his identity from, I am a marketer who builds funnels, to, I am a CEO who builds teams that build funnels. Every habit follows the same 4-stage pattern. 1. Cue, the trigger that initiates the behavior. 2. Craving, the motivation or desire behind the behavior. 3. Response, the actual habit or action you perform. 4. Reward, the benefit you gain from doing the habit. This loop is running continuously throughout your day, whether you're aware of it or not. Let me show how this applies to business with a real example. Imagine you're a local baker who wants to consistently work on business growth rather than just daily operations. In your current habit loop, UQ is, you finish your baking for the day, and your craving is that you crave the feeling of completion and relief. Your response is that you clean up, go home, and relax. And as for your reward, you get temporary relief, but no business growth. For your new habit loop, you retain the current cue. You finish your baking for the day, same cue. But for your craving, you create a new craving for progress by visualizing your expanded bakery. Your new response is that you spend 20 minutes on marketing or systems before leaving. And for your new reward, you get both completion and progress. Plus, you celebrate this small win. By understanding this loop, you can diagnose exactly where your habits are breaking down and fix the specific stage that needs attention. Success isn't about perfection, it's about progression. Science shows it typically takes 21 to 60 days for a habit to become automatic. But here's the most important rule. Never miss twice in a row. If you skip a day, because hey, life happens, just jump right back in the next day. The journey isn't easy, but those who stick with it are the ones who transform their lives. Are you ready to become unstoppable? Let's do this. Before we dive into building and implementing your daily habits, head to a Daily Habits tab on your dashboard. You'll find 5 truly transformational habits inspired by Dan Martell, a serial entrepreneur, investor, best-selling author, and a business coach. These revolutionary habits set you up for inevitable business success, and our system gives you accountability and the knowledge you need to successfully implement them in your life.